about reinventing yourself for 2025. If you have not checked out the first episode, okay, the first half of the episode, listen, you're going to have to go back, check out Apple Podcasts, Spotify. You have to listen to all of this because, you guys, one thing that I am learning as I am creating this podcast, going into a just deeper journey of manifestation, I feel like I've been able to give you guys the real. And it's like, I'm not really holding anything back. I'm not expecting anything in return other than just for me to serve my purpose and me to help you really get to that next version of yourself. So I am, of course, live here on YouTube, and I am recording this the day after Thanksgiving. And as I sit and I look at my life and the gratitude and the things that I have been able to acquire and to amass, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, this is insane. But I know that everything that I have been able to achieve and the success that I have had comes from reinventing myself time and time again. And I'm actually in the process of doing that. I've shared in other episodes that I am currently in my 90-day winter arc. And again, you can do this at any point, right? It doesn't matter what time of the year that you're listening to this. This is gold at any point. And I personally have been able to see so much transformation. It's insane. And I want you all to also experience that as well. I want you to see what it feels like to really be in another era. Because what I am feeling energetically is that a lot of people are trying to hold on to past ways of doing things, past ways of thinking, that old energy. It's like you're on this hamster wheel and you're just going around and around and around, excuse me, and you're not really able to make the impact that you want to make. And it's because of the fear of reinventing yourself. Hello, good morning. So happy to have you all here. Welcome. Listen, we are working it, okay? We are reinventing ourselves. As I was just sharing, the success I've had comes from changing myself and from really doing the deep work. And I'm sharing everything. Like, I want you to know, I want to pass this knowledge and this wisdom on. I'm doing this for free. Like, I just want you guys to succeed. So let's get into it. Now, in order for you to reinvent yourselves, I want you, whether you are, it doesn't matter your gender, okay? I need you to understand the principles of divine femininity. Now, I'm talking about energy. I'm not talking about your gender specifically. We as humans have masculine energy and feminine energy. Our society harps on masculine energy. It is needed, okay? I'm not going to say that masculine energy is not needed, but toxic masculinity, where you are overworking yourself, you're trying to prove yourself to the world, right? As you are reinventing yourself, you don't have to prove anything to anyone. The only person that you want to make sure is where they need to be is you. You are the only one that has to show up for you. You don't have to compare your life to anyone else's. And that's what that toxicity comes in. And there can even be toxicity within feminine energy. But I'm here to share with you those divine principles. I'm here to show you the way. So there are 4 divine principles that I want you to learn as you are reinventing yourself, because this is going to make your reinvention sustainable. And if you know anything about the money goddess, me, I have been preaching this probably for the past year about sustainable results. You guys, you can do anything quick. You can do anything quick. I believe that. I really do. But does that mean that's the best thing for you to do? Does that mean that it's going to actually work long term for you? Probably not. But I want you all to experience what it's like to enjoy and bask in your results. So let's talk about those principles. Number one, I need you to prioritize being patient. I am not naturally a patient person when it comes to my personal life. I'm probably the most patient with children. Children are probably the most, I'm the most patient there. And mainly because I feel like, oh, children don't know, any better. They're at a certain age. I've studied children psychology, that's my background. So I am used to that versus as an adult, or if it's something that I feel like I want and I deserve and I should have, oh, I'm spoiled. I'm spoiled. If you know, you know. We want what we want when we want. And that, as you are recreating yourself, you have to practice that patience and being able to work through things, being able to wait, because everything comes at an appointed time. And that is a scripture in Ecclesiastes. There's a time for everything under the sun. So why put yourself in a position where you are constantly pushing for something and it's not time? And I have shared this as well, the gateway study. And this is in another podcast episode. And one day I'll do like a full episode on it when I feel called and led to. But you can Google it. Back in, I believe it was the 70s, they did the gateway study and they found out about, energetic principles and how manifestation is a real thing. It's real. And knowing that manifestation is real, they were looking to see, like, how do people quantum leap? Can we really create our own realities? And they found out that is the truth. And someone I know, a YouTuber, Lisa Alexander, if you don't follow her or listen to her subliminals, I highly recommend them. They're life-changing. But she was talking about this study, and she also talked about how within, a pregnancy, and I'm a mother. My son will be 3 tomorrow, which I'm so excited. But I learned, I delivered my son was 39, almost 39 weeks, I think, something along those lines. And I had a terrible pregnancy, postpartum, all of that. But during the pregnancy, I actually was having major contractions because I was so dehydrated at 19 weeks. It wasn't even 20 weeks, 19 weeks. And if I would have had my son then, he probably would not have survived. What in your life are you trying to birth that may not survive? I want you to really think about that. What in your life are you trying to push? Relax. You have to put patience into practice, because that goes into the second divine feminine principle that we're talking about, which is trusting. You're not patient because you don't trust. That's the tea that I've been over here sipping. That is what is holding you back, is that you don't trust in God to bring whatever it is to you. You're trying to rush and make it happen. Listen, I know, because I did it. And unfortunately, I'm still learning from that. I've gotten a lot better, but it is hard. It's hard because trusting in God is it's not that you lack faith. It's that you probably have been let down in your life before, and you're trying to control a situation. You're trying to control it. And that was me and still is me. I'm still learning how to let go of that control. You know why we try to control? Because maybe in our childhood something happened where we couldn't control the situation. So we would try to do everything that we can as adults to try to take our power back that we lost as children. But I'm here to tell you that if you continue on this path, you are going to keep running on that hamster wheel. You're not going to be happy. You're going to be burnt out. You're not going to have sustainable results and success. Listen, heal. That was the last part of some of the episodes I've been doing, is talking about that inner childhood healing. I want you to really think about what happened. Who do you need to forgive? I want you to work on your root chakra, because your root chakra is all about security. If you don't know about those things, listen, you can join my Money Honey course. It is available, and I'm actually going to massively drop the price because I want to make it more accessible to people. So yes, shesworthy.org. You can check it out. Email me, shesworthy2017@gmail.com. I'll be more than happy to, share the new pricing with you, all of that, because I need people to know how to operate in their root chakra. So if you don't know what the chakra system is, you have 7 chakras in your body. Your root is your base. You want to create the strongest root chakra that you can, so you will be able to trust more easily. So you can know that God is going to bring everything together for you. And even if it looks like chaos out in the world, even if it's things you can't control, you know who's in control. Period. So the next divine feminine principle I want to highlight is nurturing. What I have learned about nurturing isn't that, because when people hear nurturing, they're always thinking like, oh, a mother loving on her child, or a mother feeding her child. Nurturing is all of that, right? In a physical sense. But it's also a spiritual practice and a physical reality practice. A lot of us do not nurture ourselves, nurture our goals and dreams. Baby, you got to feed that thing. You have to fuel that thing. Me right now recording this podcast, I am fueling my fire. Because I know as a radio show host, a TV show host, that this is growing into something big. And I have to nurture it by, let's nurture, okay? Habits. Habits. I talked about that again. Y'all, you got to stay with the money goddess, because she's putting you on game for free, honey. She is. A lot of people are not out here talking about these things. They're not really giving you what's really going on. They're not sharing those life experiences. They're giving you the glitz and the glam, but I'm giving you the real. And that's one thing, it's crazy, because one of my friends said that to me, because, they're trying for a child, and she was asking, me questions. How are things with my son and all of that? I said, girl, here's the truth. And she's like, I always appreciate that about you. And I love that, because I think being honest and vulnerable and truthful can give people a real picture, as opposed to trying to paint this pretty image. You're never going to see me paint a pretty image. You're going to see me be honest, because honesty is freedom. And in living in that truth, you can figure things out for yourself and take what you need, which I always used to say, you eat the meat and spit out the bones. I think I got that from Tony Gaskins years ago. And I think he got that from his dad or something like that. But that's what you have to do. I'm sharing the real with you, but you take what is going to work for you. But back to this principle of nurturing. What you want to do is really show up with your habits, right? I'm nurturing. I'm showing up here live. I'm giving, all of this immense value and abundance and love and light, because this is what I'm called to do, right? I'm nurturing. That's an example in my business. Another example, in my career, I have gone to school. I have 3 different degrees. I have so many different certifications, licensing. I'm showing up. I'm doing the things that I need to do. I'm providing, support. Okay, that's nurturing. I also share that for my winter arc, I've been working on fitness. So guess what? Here I am. I'm showing up. Today I've already done my 3,000 steps, and it's only 8:25 where I'm at right now. And I have done my body sculpting. I'm drinking my tea to kind of detox my body. Those habits are nurturing. Your habits are nurturing. What are you doing with your habits? Are you really nurturing the things that you say you want to bring to life, or are you just all this? Are you just talking the talk, or are you walking the walk? What is it? The last divine principle I want to talk about is multiplying. And I think that multiplying is one of the most beautiful feminine principles. And the reason why I think it's beautiful is because it is natural. It's nature. You go outside, trees just grow. You plant a seed, it's going to sprout. Now, what it sprouts depends on the nurturing, right? But it's naturally going to sprout. If you go and I don't know, plant a flower, same thing. It's gonna sprout. It's just a natural occurrence. That's why I love that principle so much, because it's not a forceful principle. It is from on high. How? Look at how our bodies function. Look at the growth that we have just in our physiological and biological makeup. That's all God. Humans we don't make this. We don't. And when you understand that divine principle of multiplying, you'll see it all around you. Even in the Bible, it says, be fruitful and multiply. It's a natural thing for us to multiply. It's beautiful. And as you're reinventing yourself, allow things to naturally and organically multiply. That doesn't mean you're not doing your habits, right? Because habits are nurturing. But you are allowing things to be organic. Reinventing yourself in this way is going to make things last. Y'all, don't y'all want a long-lasting blessing? I'm just being honest. I know the Lord gives and takes, but I don't want certain things quick. I've done that, and I've learned from that. And we have to decide, are we really learning from that? And are we stepping into a new place in our lives where we want to create long lasting? Okay, that's what we're doing over here. All right, you guys, I have so much stuff. I don't even think this is gonna make it all into, I might have to do a part 3. I didn't think I was gonna have to do a part 3, but I think I'm gonna have to do a part 3 because I got so much stuff. But let's see, what are we gonna get into now? All right, as we're talking about reinventing ourselves, I think I'm going to cover this piece here. I think I'm going to cover this piece because I don't feel like I've really talked about it too much. And I have, about a couple more minutes of time left where I can speak on these things. But let's talk about practicality and creating your new reality as you are reinventing yourself. First things first, you got to, this mind, your subconscious. Let's work on the subconscious mind, my loves. That has to be your priority. I want you can go to shesworthy.org backslash journal. You can grab my workbook. It is a digital workbook. It's all about helping you manifest anything, right? I call it, and it is about manifesting, journal your way to 100K. Beautiful. But you can use it for anything. That's what I love about my courses, my products. Everything is about manifesting whatever you want. That is going to help you with your subconscious. You guys, we have so many blockages that we don't even know. So I started working on my subconscious mind. Really, I started in 2017, but I think I got deeper in 2018 because I really wanted to understand more of like my shadow side. I wanted to understand why I had so many doubts and fears, and I really learned what limiting beliefs were. You guys, when I tell you, that changed the game. That changed the game for me because understanding that allowed me to clear so many things that might have been traumatic, might have shaped me in a way, or I was doing certain patterns and habits and I didn't understand why. Or maybe you have attracted certain people or situations and circumstances and you just look up like, what have I done, and it's not to blame ourselves. You have to understand your subconscious mind is 95% of your brain power. That runs the show. And most of our subconscious minds are still stuck in our childhood, trying to prove ourselves to those who, took care of us, or if they did or they didn't the way that we might have needed, because we're all different, right? We all have certain needs and desires. I'm telling you, we have to overcome that. If we don't address the subconscious blockages, if we don't address our limiting beliefs, we will never reinvent ourselves completely. We will always be stuck in the past. And that is what I want to encourage you to really think about. What is holding you back? Write down everything you feel like is holding you back. Be real, be raw, be honest, be transparent. Because what I have also learned is that people are in denial that they even have subconscious blockages. They're so far along in believing the BS that they have had in their minds that they don't realize it. So I want you to write all of those things down that you are maybe you have limiting beliefs about. Okay, from there, I want you to take the time to really practically, step by step, turn it around, right? If you are struggling maybe in your subconscious with reinventing yourself, you are scared of what other people will say. That's how I felt too for a time. I didn't want to talk about money mindset as much, as loudly, as proudly. I didn't want to tell people that I had amassed a certain amount of money. It was scary for me, and especially showing up online. Like, what? I didn't want people to know those things about me. I wanted to be private. And I'm still private, and I always will be private because that's just it's a protection, But it was hard for me to do those things. However, I had to clear those blockages because I have a purpose, and it's bigger than what I care about other people thinking about me. It's bigger than that. It's about me stepping into my calling, and that is what you are doing when you are reinventing yourself. You have to take all of that subconscious, whether it's self-sabotage, imposter syndrome, if it is you push people away, whatever, you have to take all of those things out, okay? So now that we've written everything down, we know what we're struggling with, we're going to turn it around into those positive affirmations, and we're going to affirm ourselves every single day. With the Parrot app, we're going to record our voices and making these positive affirmations, all right? And we're going to propel ourselves forward. And as we do this, we're going to see the growth. We're going to see the success. We're going to see that we can naturally let things start happening for us because we're programming this. A lot of people want to start on the outside. And they wonder why they can't keep up with things. It's all here, y'all. Only 5% of your brain is your conscious power. We are conscious now, like you're consciously listening to me. I am consciously talking to you. But that subconscious, honey, and I would recommend starting to listen to those at night, as you can do some subliminals. And I've shared this too. When you have subliminals that you're listening to someone else, first of all, make sure that they list all of them. Everything that they are affirming, you need to know what it is, because you don't want somebody speaking to your mind and it is not aligning, okay? When you do this, you are going to wake up a different person. Your mind is how you reinvent yourself. Doing this will propel you and quantum leap you. You guys, I have only been listening to my affirmations about fitness for, I can't look on my phone, but it has to be no more than 2 weeks. And this morning I looked at my stomach, at my area, because I'm doing my body sculpting. And I look at my arms. I'm like, girl, the progress you are making is incredible. And in such a short period of time. I am doing the external, but that brain, when you make these affirmations, your reticular activating system peaks. And it's going to find all the good things that you are feeding it. Now, let's talk about the flip side of this. If you're feeding your brain negativity, if you're watching trashy TV 24/7, if you're not getting up and focusing on your goals and going, that's going to be a problem. That's what your life is going to show. You are what you think. Let me say that again. You are what you think. So if you constantly think that you aren't beautiful, you aren't successful, that's going to be the product of your life. So why not subconsciously program yourself for positivity? It doesn't make sense, because you have a choice. That gateway study was not a joke. The CIA said, listen, we finna test and see what happened. Like, why is manifestation working for these people? I keep hearing this. I need to test it. It's real. So if it is real, why not use it in your favor? Why not? Look, y'all, I have so much more to say. I couldn't even get into everything that I wanted to say on this second half of the episode. So I will be doing another part, because I got a lot. This reinventing yourself is deeper than, just one podcast episode. It's deeper. And my episodes are an hour long. So listen, stay tuned. Check out shesworthy.org. If you want to go back and listen to this, remember I'm on YouTube, The Money Goddess 333. I am also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Be sure to follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook at I am JL Thomas. You guys, I love you. We're going to keep working on this episode, reinventing ourselves, because it's real out here. And we're about to have the dopest 2025 ever. Okay? Love you guys. Bye.